Tales of an ancient angelic rebellion echo through time, born from the pages of ancient texts and carried down to the present day. It is a story of beings of light turned into figures of darkness, their disobedience to divinity, and their fall into eternity. It is the story of the fallen angels, a series of cataclysmic events that altered the course of the universe and, with it, the existence of humanity. These angels, once revered and respected, bearers of the divine essence, boasted supernatural powers and unparalleled influence in the heights of heaven. However, in their pride and desire to equal their Creator, they committed an act of betrayal and disobedience that led to their expulsion from heavenly glory and condemnation to an existence in the shadows. The traces of their transgression and fall still linger in our world. They taught mankind forbidden knowledge, unleashed wars and chaos, sowed temptation and corruption, and since their descent, have struggled tirelessly to lead mankind away from God. Accounts of their exploits and challenges are scattered in texts as diverse as the Bible, the Book of Enoch, and the mystical teachings of the Kabbalah. Through these sacred and ancient sources, we can trace the trajectory of these celestial beings, from their highest position in heaven to the darkness of their banishment. Armaros is one of the fallen angels mentioned in the Book of Enoch, an apocryphal work of the Old Testament. There, he is credited with teaching humans incantations and how to cut roots, which can be interpreted as an introduction to magic and herbal medicine. This education of the divine to humans was considered a transgression of heavenly laws, so Armaros was punished. Although the Book of Enoch does not specify who exactly expelled Armaros, it is generally accepted that the archangels, under the direction of God, carried out the sentence. Armaros was cast into the abyss, a prison, a place of punishment for rebellious angels. Here, he is condemned to remain until the day of judgment, a future event when all will be judged for their actions. Armaros' power is reflected in his ability to change the course of human life through education, albeit in a way that was deemed unacceptable by heaven. Although his teachings were not as transformative as those of some other fallen angels, his role in the advancement of human knowledge is undoubted. Barakiel, like Armaros, is a fallen angel mentioned in the Book of Enoch. He is credited with having taught humans astrology, a body of knowledge that has significantly impacted the evolution of human society. Astrology enabled humans to understand and predict weather patterns, develop calendars, and navigate the world, among other things. For this reason, Barakiel can be considered more powerful than Armaros. While Armaros imparted more specialized skills in the occult arts and herbalism, Barakiel's teachings opened a path for a wider variety of human advancements, affecting people's daily lives in a broader and more lasting way. However, like Armaros, Barakiel was also punished for his rebellion and transgression of divine laws. By transmitting celestial knowledge to humans, he crossed a line that led to his downfall and, like Armaros, was cast into the abyss by the archangels, where he is destined to remain until the day of judgment. Sahariel is another of the fallen angels mentioned in apocryphal and esoteric texts. In Jewish and Christian tradition, he is credited with having taught humans about the phases of the moon, which allowed the development of lunar calendars. This teaching has had a profound influence on the evolution of human societies, from agriculture to religious observation. Therefore, Sahariel's importance is considered greater than that of Barakiel and Armaros because of the widespread utility and scope of his teaching. While the skills of astrology and herbalism may have been of interest and utility to a subset of humans, the ability to track and understand the phases of the moon has been essential to virtually all human societies. However, like his predecessors, Sahariel also suffered the fall. By passing on to humans knowledge that was meant to remain in the heavens, he faced divine punishment. He was cast into the abyss, the prison for rebellious angels, where he is destined to remain until the day of judgment. Shemhazai is a fallen angel notably distinguished in the Book of Enoch. As one of the leaders of the fallen angels, Shemhazai played a key role in the decision to rebel against heavenly laws and take human wives, an act that resulted in the creation of the Nephilim, destructive giants who wreaked havoc on earth. This act of rebellion represented a more serious transgression than those of Armaros, Barakiel, and Sahariel, as it involved not only the transmission of forbidden knowledge to humans but also the direct manipulation of human life and the creation of a new race. This elevated Shemhazai's impact on human history to a level surpassing that of the fallen angels mentioned above. Shemhazai's punishment was also more severe. According to the Book of Enoch, he was suspended upside down between heaven and earth in eternal punishment, as opposed to the abyss where the other fallen angels were cast. This penance suggests the gravity of his transgression and the power he once had. Azazel is a fallen angel whose name is synonymous with rebellion in religious tradition. As detailed in the Book of Enoch, Azazel taught humans weapon-making and jewelry, driving both war and vanity among people. Azazel's influence on war and conflict marks his position above Shemhazai in terms of power and effect on humanity. Unlike Shemhazai, who transgressed heavenly laws through his union with human women, Azazel was responsible for teaching abilities that could be used for the direct harm of humans, causing further destruction and suffering. Because of his actions, God imposed a severe punishment on Azazel. On the day of judgment, he will bear upon himself all the sins of mankind and be cast into darkness forever. This fate underscores the magnitude of his transgression and the power he once wielded. He is identified as the Prince of Demons in the Christian tradition. His name is often translated as the Lord of the Flies, and in the New Testament of the Bible, he is named as the chief demon whom Jesus exorcised. Unlike Azazel and Shemhazai, Beelzebub is distinguished by imparting forbidden knowledge to humans or by spawning a race of giants, but rather by his leadership position among evil beings. His influence on evil and temptation elevates his status to one of the most powerful fallen angels. In Christianity, Beelzebub is associated with one of the three enemies of the faith, along with the flesh and the world. His role as Prince of Demons gives him significant power and influence over the forces of evil. Beelzebub's exact punishment is specifically detailed in the biblical texts, but his status as one of the chief demons infers a punishment corresponding to his high rank and power among the fallen angels. Lucifer, whose name means light bearer, stands at the pinnacle of all fallen angels. Traditionally identified with Satan, he is often considered the leader of the fallen angels and the instigator of the rebellion against God. Lucifer was the most beautiful of all angels and possessed great wisdom. His beauty and wisdom, however, led him to arrogance. He began to believe that he was equal or superior to God and convinced a third of the heavenly angels to join him in rebellion, including Beelzebub, Azazel, Shemhazai, and other angels. "We are as powerful as he is," Lucifer argued to the angels. "We do not need to submit to his authority." Michael, the archangel, confronted Lucifer in an unprecedented battle. "How can you match God?" challenged Michael. "He created us and the whole universe. I am more powerful than he. I should be the ruler," Lucifer replied, his voice ringing with pride and defiance. The battle between Lucifer and the heavenly forces was catastrophic. But despite his great power and that of his followers, Lucifer was defeated and cast out of heaven. Lucifer's power is such that his downfall is described in cosmic terms in the Bible. In Isaiah 14 verse 12 it is said, "How you fell from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the dawn! How you were cast down to earth, conqueror of nations!" Unlike the other fallen angels, Lucifer was not cast into the abyss or suspended between heaven and earth. Instead, he was allowed to roam the earth, seeking whom he might devour and trying to turn mankind away from God. As the origin of all evil and temptation in the world, Lucifer is considered the most powerful of all fallen angels. His fall from heaven is a central event in biblical history and his influence endures to this day.